maybe I went a little too far with the, MVP possible thing, but
I
I'm
think
just saying that
I
he
think I
could
just
be
found
better.
the intro to this video. Hey everybody, what's going on? Chris Fox, Yards After the Catch. You know me, and you know who I'm hanging out with in these ADP QB videos. It's Bandy over there from 4th and Flex, coming in to help us break down some ADP numbers. We've talked about the guys going in the first 6 rounds. Should they be there? Should they not? Some interesting names. Lamar Jackson in there, Kyler Murray in there. Got that bag, so it makes sense. We talked about the mid-tier rounds where most of us are taking quarterbacks. Right now in mock season, you'll still find Tom Brady there. You'll find Stafford there. You'll find Carr there, and some other good talent that you'll be happy with to put on your team in the mid-tier. So let's just take a minute to talk about the bottom-tier quarterbacks, the names that we haven't brought up yet. Should we have brought them up? Are they going to do better than people are expecting them to? Where do they come on your draft? The fun thing is, if you're playing with these guys right here, you might be able to steal someone's quarterback. I don't think a lot of people know this about the draft day dice yet, Bandy. We all know that if you roll, a tight end and a kicker in the first round, that's what you got to take. And you're taking a kicker or a tight end in the first round, or you might end up taking a defense and a tight end in the third round. But what a lot of people don't realize is that as you get further on, if you do this thing right here, boom, 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 line them up, 3 in a row, you get to steal that position from someone else. You could steal Derrick Henry right now. I could steal JT. And at the quarterback position, I might, I'd go up there and steal your Josh Allen. Sorry, guy. Round 12, rolled 3 QBs, and Josh Allen's now mine in round 12. That's a value. Hope you're in a keeper league. Hey, look, the names that we haven't talked about. Watson. We're not going to spend a lot of time here because my only question about Watson is, do you think he's even going to play?
Yeah, actually, I do. I think Watson's going to probably get a much lower than people are expecting, just because he threatened to sue the NFL, and the NFL has had plenty of legal problems as of late, and they're not willing to do it. So I'm projecting 6 games, maybe 8 for Watson. So we'll get him the later half of the season, but he's been out for so long. Is he still going to have it? Is he going to be worth that guaranteed money that the Browns have spent on him?
See, and that's why I said I'd only ask you one question, because I knew you'd get to the second one all by yourself. He's that good. He's that good, man. Yeah, look, I'm putting him at 8 myself, and like you said, I think he'll put some numbers up as he, he'll have a game or two just based on schedule and stuff like that towards the latter half of the season. He's not going to be someone to carry your team. He's not going to, put you in the playoffs if you have the type of format where you can plug and play. DFS player maybe might get you something in the late season, but yeah, Watson pretty much a non-factor, I think, regardless of if he plays or not, because of when he'll finally play. Mac Jones. Mac Jones is a guy. When Mac Jones got drafted after Brady left, I said that's a perfect fit. And I caught a little bit of flack for it, but I said that is a perfect fit. He's got Belichick. He's going to learn how to QB. He reminds me, he's got some Brady skill. I think he's got some Bledsoe skill, who was there before Brady. And I think he's the perfect guy to come in and replace Brady. Not if you're expecting to get the GOAT again. If you're trying to replace, or you can't replace a Tom Brady, that's a lifetime, once in a lifetime thing. It only happens every couple comet spins. But with Mac Jones in there, I think he's a nice addition. I think he's someone that is eventually gonna keep going higher and higher and improving.
Well, first of all, let's ease up on the Mac Jones is like Tom Brady thing we got going on here.
Like I said, I'm not putting him in the same category. I'm just saying he's a good guy if you got to plug someone in. I think he's a nice rookie to stick in there.
Yeah, and he's gotten in shape now, so I mean, he should be better. He's worked on some things. I don't hate Mac Jones. I mean, if he's there and I've got nobody else as my backup, I'd take him, or in a super flex league, I might take him way later. But I'm just a little worried about the lack of receivers. I mean, I really like Devontae Parker that they picked up. If he can stay healthy, he is such a strong guy. He goes up and gets the ball, but again, he has a problem, health issues. Uh, if Belichick will trust Mac Jones a little more this year, I think we can see some solid production out of him. That's the thing about fantasy football. You never know what's going to happen. He could blow it up this year. We have no idea what's going to happen.
Mac Jones going 163 overall. I don't even know what round that is. That's like round 13, 14, something like that. We're definitely talking 2 QB leagues in part 3 here. If you're taking any of these guys, in my opinion, these are there's a couple names on here. We'll get to those. Let's get through a couple of these names that we know, and then we're going to touch on a couple names that definitely could make some rosters. And might surprise some people. So we talked about Mac Jones. We talked about Matt Ryan up there in Indy. I think that's a nice spot for him to end his career. I think he'll go out looking good with Taylor there. Pittman's on the come up. If Ryan can get the ball to Pittman and get it there consistently and accurately, I think he could finish with some decent numbers.
Yeah, I actually am very high on Matt Ryan this year. I think he's way too low. I think he could possibly be a top 12 quarterback this year. He's got a decent offensive line now. He's got protection. He's, again, like I said about Russell Wilson, I think when they get moved to another team, it's just like the love of the game comes back. I mean, things were getting stale over in Atlanta. He's got JT, who I think is going to get a lot more dump-offs, receptions this year with Matt Ryan there. I think people are sleeping on Matt Ryan a little bit. I really like Matt Ryan this year.
And go back and look at the success rate of Matt Ryan running backs. You'll recognize the names and you'll like the numbers. JT looking good, and I've already gone on record as saying that JT's not going to be a top 3 guy this year. I didn't say I didn't draft him. I didn't say don't take him number 1. I said I don't think he's going to finish top 3, and that's because of the high level competition at other backs. However, I could very much be eating crow at the end of the season on this one because I think JT's got a nice setup. I think it's the offensive line really that scares me.
Yeah, I saw you getting a lot of crap for talking about JT not being top 3.
And I stand by it. We'll see.
Top 5 exactly. I would say top 5 with JT. I think his numbers are gonna decline a little bit, not because of the quarterback play, but just because you never see that happen. And I think people are actually sleeping on Derrick Henry too. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
And I think that's why JT numbers go down. I do think it's because of the quarterback play, but I think it's because of improved quarterback play. And JT is going to be able to not have to do everything this year like he did last year with Wentz. Wentz is in this group, this bottom 3 group, not surprisingly so. We also see names like Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is interesting to me to see him this low right now. I'm not saying Jameis Winston is a top-tier quarterback or anything, but I do think he has the ability to ball. And we've already talked about in part 2 how the high interceptions, look, your top quarterbacks last year, your top 5-6 quarterbacks were all 15 interceptions or more, with the exception of Tom Brady. And so if Winston can be a part of that trend, put up yards, get touchdowns, the interceptions don't matter so much.
Yeah, Jameis Winston, I like Jameis Winston. I think he's definitely a little too low for sure. I think people are just going off of what happened last year. He only played 5 games, so his numbers are low. I think he could be a dark horse, possibly in the MVP conversation.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, say that again, because I think there was some feedback or something. Something messed up. It definitely didn't come across right. What did you say about Jameis Winston?
I'm just saying, Jameis Winston could be a top guy. Okay, maybe I went a little too far with it. MVP possible thing, but I think he could be better. I just found the intro to this video.
No, I agree. I mean, it's really down to his receiving core.
Mm-hmm.
Always problems with Michael Thomas. Why is my Buckeyes, man? Last couple of years, just you got Fields, you got Meyer, now you got Thomas, creating problems. But how's Thomas going to play? How's he going to perform? Winston's got should still have some legs under him and stuff like that. That'll factor in. Plays in a horrible division, but probably the worst division in football right now. So, I think there's a chance to improve it. Like you make a face, like you got Carolina with Baker Mayfield. We're going to talk about him.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, baby. What are you talking about?
That's why I say it's a bad division in the sense that you go back and look at the AFC East from before when it was New England and everybody else. And so that's what you have in this division. It's clearly Tampa's division. It's not even theirs to lose. They could have a horrible year. If Tampa finishes 500, they still win the division, and it's like that's how bad this division is.
Not necessarily. I mean, the Saints are kryptonite over there, man. They've got Brady's number.
And that's what we're talking about with Jameis Winston is to see what's going to happen. He's an X factor.
Absolutely.
100%. Like you said, going too low. Ryan Tannehill, it's very confusing to me to see Tannehill going 147 overall, QB 23, and then we still talk about Derrick Henry's comeback, and we talk about the additions they've made, the draft that they had, and nobody's putting them in the Super Bowl. I'm not even sure. If you've got Henry, you always have a shot at the playoffs. But it's just really funny to see Tannehill mock draft season going below names like Winston, Ryan, Jones. He's going below Watson. He's going below Lawrence. He's going below Justin Fields. Anybody going below Justin Fields?
Yeah.
That's not realistic. But I don't think Tannehill's done yet.
No, people are sleeping on Tannehill. I mean, he's not an amazing quarterback. He throws the ball to the wrong team a good amount of the time, but
14 times last year to 21 touchdowns.
Yeah, they're saying because AJ Brown's gone, like that's just going to throw it all away. But I mean, if Treylon Burks, the rookie, can be the new AJ Brown, as they're saying, if he could, catch his breath and figure things out over there, and they got Bobby Trees now, they got Robert Woods over there. I think Robert Woods is also getting slept on. I mean, Tannehill has his moments.
No, I agree, and I think Woods is, has he passed his prime? Is it fair to say that Woods has passed his prime? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's got a lot to prove now. Everybody was all high on him, and Cooper Kupp stole the show. He got hurt. I think Bobby Trees he's got something to prove this year, and I think he's gonna be good.
I think Tennessee is going to surprise some people. I think Tannehill is also going to surprise some people. And I think the 14, I'm really just even through these 3 videos we've done, I'm really starting to take a lot of stock out of the interception to touchdown ratio. Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is down here. A lot of people talking about Hall being such a great addition and stuff like that. It's the Jets. And so I'm not surprised to see Wilson here. Look, I think Zach Wilson has some talent. I think if Zach Wilson played for a different team, I think he would have much better numbers. But he's a Jet, and to be honest, he's ahead of Carson Wentz. He's ahead of Daniel Jones. He's ahead of Jared Goff, and with the exception of Wentz, I'm not sure he should be.
He's still really young. He's still got a lot to learn. He got a little bulked up, so he's been working on things. He's trying over there. They had a phenomenal draft class. I mean, they got to find a way to use all that properly, which seems to be the problem. But with Robert Saleh over there, I do have some confidence in him. I think they could win 7 games this year, but Zach Wilson threw more interceptions last year than he threw touchdowns, and that scares me.
Yeah, that's always a bad look, but hopefully it'll improve. We brought up Wentz. I'm not even going to talk about. I'm such an anti-Wentz guy. I have never liked the guy. I've always thought he was over-touted, but I'll give you a chance to talk about Wentz if you want.
Well, first of all, you said his name wrong. It's Carson Wentz. Okay, so make sure you get that right next time. I appreciate it. But I'm not super big on Carson Wentz. One of the things that seemed to be the problem with him is the intangibles, his leadership qualities, and I just don't think he can get his guys to rally behind him, and I think that's always been his problem his whole career. I'll tell you what, though, he's in. I think this might be his last stop before he gets to backup town. You know what I mean?
No, I agree, and he does have some good talent in Washington, and I know a lot of people will be like, "What is Washington?" But it really, if you look at it, like there are some good guys there. Just wrong team, wrong place, wrong time, and I feel kind of bad for a lot of them. Little Danny Dimes there at QB 26. Jared Goff is at 28, deservedly so for both these positions. They're both quarterbacks that have shown flashes, had some success, but just can't stay consistent. And other than a game here and there, the interesting thing with, of course, with Danny Dimes is Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is. This is his last year to prove that he's something. I mean, they've been saying that for 2 years now, I guess. But
Yeah.
next year's draft class is littered with QB talent. So, I mean, if he wants to stay a starting quarterback in the NFL, he needs to go out there and have a phenomenal season. And I just don't see it happening. I mean, have we learned our lesson about Daniel Jones on being the guy or not?
Yeah.
Apparently, the Giants haven't.
Apparently not. A couple names I do want to bring up before we wrap up this third tier. We know Garoppolo waiting on surgery. All signs point to once he recovers from the surgery, he's going to end up in another team. You've already predicted Seattle. I like the pick. I can see it happening. Mayfield now in Carolina playing against his old team. A lot of press has already been given there. A push to me to go from the Browns to Carolina. What say you?
Well, like I said in the video we did about Baker Mayfield when this whole thing went down, if you haven't watched that, go back and check it out. I think Baker Mayfield is a definitely upgrade, obviously, to Sam Darnold.
100%.
Last year he had his arm was all jacked up. He should have sat, got his surgery, and got better, but instead he tried to tough it out, which I can respect that. But now they're just calling him garbage and telling him he ain't the guy. I think he's going to come out of Carolina and surprise people, but apparently you don't think that division is worth anything. So
I think it's a great setup for him to find some success. Honestly, I think there's going to be games. I think he's going to get a chance to perform, and it will be a matter if he does. But I mean, again, CMC coming back, he just doesn't have that clear-cut number one receiver. No disrespect, to those receivers, but he doesn't have a number one. He didn't have a number one in Cleveland either. I don't think that helps him, and he's going to have to stay healthy. But having CMC on your team is not a bad thing. And then being in a division that I think it's competitive within the division, because I don't think any of those teams are set up to be fantastic with it. Every loss, every time you play Tampa Bay is like, it's 2 losses right there for all of them. But but I think you could see some competition as long as these guys want to win, and I do see Baker Mayfield as being a guy that wants to win every time he walks out on the field. So I think that's good for him. Mariota down in Atlanta, okay. That's all I got to really say about that. David Mills in Houston, yeah, that's about all I got to say about that. One team I like that I'm looking at and really watching, I think a lot of people are, and it's not just because I am a fan, is Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh, you've got Trubisky and you've got Kenny Pickett. Pickett actually going as 27, Trubisky going at 34. Pickett going at 214 overall, Trubisky going 219. So within 5 picks of each other. People are going late. People are picking these guys up on flyers if they're picking them up on at all. Pittsburgh's just an interesting team to watch. I as a Pittsburgh fan, I know it's a bridge year. I know we're going to get somebody in there better, which is why Trubisky only got the 1-year contract. But for 1 year, I'll take Trubisky. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, Trubisky led the Bears to the playoffs with Matt Nagy hindering him. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I like him as a bridge quarterback as well. I wouldn't pick up Pickett. I think he's going to sit for a year unless Trubisky gets hurt. I like the sitting for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I hope he does as well. At first, I thought you were saying you hope he gets hurt. You hope Trubisky gets hurt.
No. I want Trubisky to ride the whole season. I mean, like you said, we got a decent shot with our division. We got a decent shot of making the playoffs. because our division is another one of those that's just like not. There isn't a team that's just like super in that division, and so it's going to be a lot of there's chances for everybody. Everybody's going to have a shot, and so you're going to see a lot of good games, a lot of good competition coming out.
I'm high on Deontay Johnson also. I think he's definitely being slept on, and that's because of Trubisky, I guess. Trubisky, I mean, you think he'll be throwing a lot of dinking and dunking. I do think he will be doing that, and I think Deontay's just shifty enough to make it through and turn nothing into something.
Especially when you have my pick for Rookie of the Year last year, Najee Harris. I think Najee's definitely a top 5 running back. A lot of people think putting him in the top 3 already. I don't know. Even as a Pittsburgh fan, I don't know if I'm ready to make that leap yet. But the guy catches a lot of passes. The guy's got moves. He's definitely going to get called to work on. That workload's going to be high, but I think he can do it. I like Pittsburgh this year. I'm happy with Trubisky. The comparison is like this guy or that guy, right? So I would rather have Trubisky than Mariota. I'd rather have Trubisky than obviously Mills. I'd rather have Trubisky than Goff. I'd rather have Trubisky than Jones, than Wentz, than Wilson.
Lance?
Than Trey Lance? Yeah, I would. I'm not a big Trey Lance guy. Yeah, I'm not a big Trey Lance guy.
I'm not either.
I do like the offense. A lot of weapons there. But I think that team could make Trey Lance look really good. If they can all stop, fighting. I'm a little higher on Eli Mitchell than a lot of people are. Obviously, Debo's a beast. Ayuk could, finally come into his own. I think they have weapons in San Francisco that will.
You taking Trubisky over Matt Ryan?
No. No. I was really
just seeing where your floor was. Right
No. I really like Matt Ryan's setup in Indianapolis. I think top 15 is very achievable. I think. Did you put him in the top 10? We can go back. We'll check the video.
I think I said 12.
Did you say 12? I take that.
Or 15. 12 or 15. He's somewhere there.
He's in there. He's in there for sure. Hey, everybody. We appreciate you guys joining us for part 3. Hope you guys caught part 1 and part 2. Break down these quarterbacks according to the ADP. Obviously, we know these are going to change during as mock season progresses. And then once we start getting into the actual drafts here in a few weeks, we'll really see those numbers change. And that's where it's going to get interesting. But as long as we're mocking, we got to be talking about where people are falling. Hey, I want to thank my co-host today, Bandy from 4th and Flex, for doing this video and the other 2. 4th and Flex, you guys got to check these guys out. They are really good. They are up and coming and fast. I mean, they are rising real quick. You will see them on other shows, and you will also see them right here on Yards After the Catch. So Bandy, thank you to you and to Trey, who's also done videos with us, for joining us here on Yards After the Catch.
Absolutely, brother. I really appreciate it.
Hey man, you guys picked up a sponsorship, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Manscaped just hit us up.
Boom.
Yes, sir. Manscaped. You see them everywhere. You get the products, you try them. I tell you, the boxers are pretty awesome. They're very supportive, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, if you want to get
the boys,
that's right. If you want to get a pair or try something else, go to manscaped.com. Use our promo code SUPERFLEX20. You'll get 20% off. You'll get free shipping. Check it out over there, man. They got some cool stuff over there. A lot more than you would think.
See, I told you guys, he's coming up. They're coming up fast. They got discount codes, guys. Oh my God, they got discount codes. Go get you some Manscaped. SuperFlex20. 4th and Flex. Go check them out.
Yes, sir.
For Bandy and 4th and Flex, I am Chris Fox, Yards After the Catch. Find us on YouTube. Find us on all the socials. And check us out. Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. You guys be safe out there. Happy fantasy footballing, everybody.